What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with Money Vesting. A little bit of an earlier market update because I was up and I figured I'd do a market update here earlier rather than later because if I do go to bed, it's going to come out at 11 p.m. Eastern. So right now it is about midnight here. So 1 minute left for the markets to close here in Dubai, and of course 1 minute in left to markets for markets to close in New York as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and of course find it helpful. If you do, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There is a 16% annual discount available till the end of this month if you want to take advantage of it, and of course get access to all the buy and sell alerts, options alerts, trade ideas. Everything's going to be included, as well as the members only private videos and the intrinsic value spreadsheets as well. We've honestly been crushing it when it comes to options. So I did actually get rid of my one of my Tesla calls for a 96% profit, or a little bit over $1,248. So again, if you can access all of these alerts and when I'm actually planning on selling more calls or puts. This right here is a Palantir call I sold literally 4 days ago, so earlier this week, that is already up 55%. This right here is a Meta call that is expiring today, so 44% it is up a little bit over $1,061, although this is going to expire in the money, so I'm going to be selling my shares at $270, and I'll obviously be keeping the entire premium as well. And this right here is another Google call that I sold 4 days ago that's already up close to 40%. So again, if you want to get access to all these alerts, find out exactly what trades and investments I'm making in the market, and get access to our fair values and our trading view charts and our private videos, everything's going to be available with that 16% annual discount, available with the link down below. So markets here overall very flat, although rebounding a little bit. So we did have the S&P 500 getting bought up intraday, so we did bounce back higher from that support that we talked about in our previous videos. Nasdaq also getting bought up, so green candle on the day, very strong momentum back higher. Tesla was still down 2%. Google was down almost 2%. Meta, Amazon also selling off. Microsoft, Apple very flat, with energy, healthcare, and defensives continuing their outperformance on the day today as well. And this right here is the entire market. So again, energy, defensive, and a little bit of healthcare, industrial is doing really well. So this right here is the daily chart, but over the last 1 week, we've got all 11 sectors selling off and down over the last 1 week, right? So all 11 sectors. In the last 1 month, energy is the only sector that is outperforming. Everything else is either flat or straight up down in the last 1 month. So we have definitely seen a very brutal August for the markets. A lot of sectors, a lot of stocks, and of course the broader markets have all sold off in the month of August, but we're now starting to see a little bit of that recovery once again. And that's only to say because we have come down to a very critical support. We've come down to a level where there is going to be demand, there's going to be buyers stepping in, and that's exactly why we're seeing a green candle now on a Friday after having a very brutal first 3 to 4 days of the week. So wheat prices, lean hogs, orange juice, palladium, lumber prices all pushing higher with natural gas and volatility rolling over. Bitcoin's coming down to 26,000 after the breakdown. Ether is now once again trading in the 1600s, closer to 1650 at the moment. So going over to the S&P 500, you'll notice that this right here was the support that we were talking about. We literally pinpointed it exactly inside this green rectangle. And guess what? The buyers stepped in right at that support and pushed it right back higher at 4370. That's where we are, just a little bit under 4400. So pretty much flat on the day. Next week, we also got the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium, where Jerome Powell is going to be talking on August 24th, August 25th. So that is going to be very important for the market. And of course, this is going to be a huge support for the S&P, and resistance going to be all the way up to 4440 for the S&P. And of course, we've got the Nasdaq here also getting bought up intraday, even though we had a red candle. In other words, even though we had a red day, but a green candle on a red day does suggest that there were buyers present, and of course, a lot of momentum coming back in intraday. So again, sitting at that 100 SMA, at that support inside this green rectangle. Lots of momentum coming back in, and we did see a little bit of that push higher intraday with the RSI and MACD also getting down to very oversold levels. Going over to Bitcoin and Ether, again, very significant breakdown for both of these. Bitcoin coming down to 26,000, Ether absolutely collapsing down to 1600s. So again, very oversold on the RSI and MACD front. So we'll see if the buyers bite here, and if we do see a little bit of that momentum back higher. Going over to crude oil, we are starting to see that recovery back up. It's trading back over $81 a barrel, so a little bit over 1.5%. So this right here is going to be that resistance for us to watch, and whether we get a breakout or a rejection at that level once again. And of course, the 10-year yields are just a little bit under 4.2.5%. They have been creeping higher and higher. The real yields have never really seen this level since 2009. So it's been a little bit over 15 years since we have seen the real yields touch this high. And of course, a lot of the individual yields, especially the short-term, short-duration bonds, the 3-month, 6-month, 1 year, have been pushing past 5.5%, which obviously is putting additional pressure on equities as well. So going over to the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, we've already talked about it. Apple here getting a bounce back higher. So green candle on the day here. Some buyers once again stepping in after the breakdown. Oversold RSI, oversold MACD. So it's not a surprise that there is some momentum coming back into the market. We did see Apple up over 28 basis points. It's a little bit under $175 per share. Same thing is true for Amazon as well. Red day, but a green candle. Again, the most of that gap is already filled. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And a green candle here suggesting that buyers are once again starting to step in. And enough is enough. We obviously did see a pretty significant sell-off in most of August, but now the buyers are making a very, very significant signal that there are going to be some buyers present, and of course pushing higher once again. So green candles forming with some momentum coming back in. Tesla here also very identical. So red day, but a green candle, a little bit of a doji candle really. So just consolidating sideways. We are once again inside this green rectangle, and of course inside this circle that I pointed out earlier in my previous updates on Tesla. So oversold RSI, oversold MACD. I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla consolidates sideways a little bit, starts to trade in that green rectangle, and of course makes its way back higher above 220, 225. But I'm really expecting, or hoping at least, that this happens after November and December of this year, because my calls are now out of the money and they are up over 70, 80, 90%, which I will be looking to close very, very soon. That's exactly the whole point of selling covered calls, is to hedge again that potential downside when the stock price do end up selling off. So bottom line is that Tesla obviously showing signs of weakness on the back of those earnings and margin compression and of course price cuts. So I do expect a lot of consolidation inside this green rectangle and of course this range, and then eventually moving back higher to that resistance back up to 220s, 225, and as high as 250s. Talking a little bit about PayPal here, and PayPal on the day getting a massive lift back over $59, and of course buyers once again stepping in here after being incredibly oversold and of course selling off pretty aggressively after the earnings and the fact that Elliott management is completely out of PayPal and selling their stake of worth over 1 million shares. And intraday, it did rally quite a bit from lows of $57, push up over 4%. Support level is going to stay put at $57.35, $57. $57.50 to be precise, and of course closing just over $59. So resistance all the way up to $69 to $70 per share for this company. Square, very, very similar situation where we did push higher, 1.3%. So buyers are once again indeed stepping in. And man, oh man, this is like, it is honestly, knock on wood, it's getting way too easy to read the market right now. We talked about a potential short trading opportunity on Square when it was incredibly overbought. So it sold right back down to that support level that we talked about in our previous videos at $51, $52. And well, guess what? RSI, MACD oversold. Square price action incredibly weak. And now guess what? It's starting to push right back up. So we're going to be looking at a swing trading opportunity on the long side for Square from these levels, considering the risk reward is far better than it was a few days or a few weeks ago. Talking a little bit about NVIDIA now. NVIDIA on the day also green candle, but on a red day, very, very flat, so not really moving anywhere. Resistance is going to stay put at 433, 435. Support level is going to stay put at roughly around $405. And right now it is just really consolidating sideways. Valuation, we've already touched on it in our previous videos. It's incredibly high, very, very expensive stock to consider. AMD, on the other hand, pushing higher intraday, so lots of momentum, and on the day also pushing up over 1%. Resistance is going to stay put at roughly around $106, $107. So this right here is going to be that level. It's coming down to its higher low, getting bought up from those levels. I will be looking at maybe selling some puts very soon. $80 strikes is what I'm considering. I did miss out actually on the day today. It came down to as low as $101 per share. But eventually I will be looking at selling some puts at low 80s. That's really where my fair value is on Advanced Micro Devices. Meta Platforms pushing higher intraday, so down on the day, but green candle against a red day green candle does suggest that even though we did gap down, we did see some weakness intraday, there were some buyers present, and that is usually the first signs of a potential reversal, that the buyers are making themselves known that they are there. They do exist, and of course they are pushing higher intraday. So support level is going to stay put at that 100 SMA, and of course as low as 257, kind of in line with this previous support. Resistance is going to be all the way up to $300 per share, so that's going to be that next resistance and that target level to watch for Meta. Netflix, on the other hand, also a green candle, but also was up on the day, up over 38 basis points. But nonetheless, it did get a breakdown, huge breakdown yesterday, dropping below 410, and support level is going to be inside this green rectangle, sitting roughly at 380s to as low as 375, 360s for Netflix moving forward. Talking about Google here, and Google on the day down about 1.8%. That's actually one of the reasons why our Google covered call is up close to over, let's see, over 39% here. Not a huge amount in dollar amounts, but it is free money, so I'll take it. And the reason for that is because this is fairly new. We sold it 4 days ago, and it's already made a decent move down, so it's further out of the money. Strike price is 135, expirations September 15, so a little bit less than a month, and support level is going to stay put at 127, resistance up to 131, and of course if it does end up breaking down below this level, next target and support is going to be all the way down to 115 for Google. Talking a little bit about Microsoft now, and Microsoft on the day also getting bought up from that support of 312, came down to as low as 311.55. Red day but a green candle, once again does suggest the buyers were present and stepping in. Resistance all the way up to that 9 EMA, sitting roughly at 322, something that we did talk about in one of our previous videos, and support level is going to stay put at $312 per share. Shopify also getting bought up, no doubt. Red day but a green candle. Resistance is going to be at $54, $55. That's exactly the level that it broke down yesterday. And right now we're definitely seeing a lot of weakness with an oversold RSI and a MACD as well. And resistance is going to be at 54. Support roughly at that 200 SMA, sitting roughly at 49 sub $50 levels. And finally, we got Enphase Energy also getting bought up here at a very strong support at 128, 129. Red day, but a green candle. Buyers stepping in, oversold RSI, oversold MACD. Resistance going to be all the way up to $151 per share for Enphase. So bottom line is, for the market right now, as it stands, we are seeing a lot of weakness in the month of August. However, in my previous videos, I've already mentioned that I don't see this as anything that's going to accelerate down to a correction or a bear market. All I see, and I'm going to be as clear as possible, all I see from this market sell-off and this pullback is a medium-term pullback or a dip, right? And August and September, seasonality-wise, are some of the worst months for the market. So it is very normal and it's completely okay for us to see a pullback or a dip for the market. I do still expect the last quarter of 2023 to be good, to be stronger, and for us to finish out the year in a very strong sort of fashion. And may not be technology that kind of leads the way, but it is going to be a strong close into the year, in my opinion. The Federal Reserve obviously holds all the cards with respect to interest rates. Inflation's going to still be a very, very good indicator and a very leading indicator for what the Federal Reserve ends up doing. But in my opinion, the next couple of months, we do still see a consolidation, maybe a little bit of a pullback, but that's only to an extent of 5, 7, 8, maybe as much as 10%. But eventually, I do expect them to rally back higher, buyers to step in, a lot of the money to kind of flood back into the market, and the last quarter of the year to be a very strong close for the markets. So that's where I'm at. Nothing to freak out over, nothing to go crazy on. I'm still kind of holding on to dry powder. I'm still raising my exposure on cash. I'm still trading options to hedge my downside, and that's really what the plan would be. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. If you did, make sure that you drop a like. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section down below. What are you doing in this market environment right now? Are you buying, selling, holding? I would love to know from you guys as well. And as always, happy investing. Don't forget, there is a 16% annual discount available with the link down below. Available till the end of this year, end of this month actually. And as always, happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.